I hope I just turned on my microphone. I don't know how long it was off for. Um, I assume I just turned it off. It's hard to know. It's really hard to know. Normally I'm looking at my like sounds all the time, trying to make sure the settings are okay. Okay, so let's talk about the vegan tier list. Let's talk about the theory behind the vegan tier list before we jump into actual practice. Because until you have like a good grasp on the fundamental theory of vegan junk food, you can't really put it into practice in real life. So in order to apply the fundamentals of vegan junk food, we have to first think about theory. And so the theory is that I'm not worrying so much about the actual like specific brands. In some cases that is more relevant than others, and I'll issue disclaimers where I'm aware of them. I'm gonna make sure that the playlist isn't too loud. I just want it very softly in the background. So I'm not gonna issue disclaimers about every single company. The thing is that I feel like it's that sort of in capitalism, every company is kind of just fucked up. And I feel like if I focused on the details too much of like the problematic nature of all of these companies, then I wouldn't have any video to say, because like, you know, the point of it is to be lighthearted and just bring something fun to the world. So I'm gonna worry less about the specific brands, because if we look first here on the tier list, we have Amy's, and Amy's pizza is something that I don't eat a lot, but it is pretty good. Like, it tastes pretty good. If you're just judging it by your fucking taste buds, it tastes pretty good. I don't eat Amy's pizza. I prefer to make my own pizza. I try to make my own food all the time, but this is like relatively a vegan junk food list, and it's also just a joke list. I'm just having fun, and so I'm not going to focus on the practices of the companies too much. However, I will also mention them because I am vegan and I care about the source of my food, and I care about what I'm eating, and I want to eat healthy food. And Amy's, I've heard, like, does not treat their employees well in some way. I haven't read into it too much because I can't keep up with every single company and everything. I try not to eat Amy's food that much because I know that like they apparently have bad practices as a company. I have other vegan friends who have told me that, and I just trust them. And when people tell me that, I just try to lay off of that food. And so that's basically what I try and do. And for the most part, I eat less food that, in my opinion, is problematic than most people, because I think that it's very easy to chide someone for their diet, to be honest, if you're like really being nitty gritty about it. And I already prepare like a lot of the food that we eat, so I'm just gonna issue those disclaimers. Anyways, otherwise, I'm just gonna go through this tier list. I've been super excited to do it on stream, and I actually am gonna turn on the overlay again so that I can actually keep chat up a little bit here. And so the very first thing on the tier list is this Amy's pizza, and it's a pretty good baseline food, to be honest, because the thing about Amy's pizza, and this is a vegan supreme in particular that's here right now, and the thing about a vegan supreme pizza is that like this is probably their best vegan pizza of all their varieties. And one of the disclaimers that I was talking about with the theory of the tier list is that I'm not going to rate every Amy's pizza. This is just Amy's pizza, and it almost just represents all vegan pizza across the board. It's like very general, but it's also just Amy's pizza, like across the board. And truly, Amy's pizza, I didn't mind it like the first couple times I've had it, but every time I eat it, I feel like I get slightly sick. It's on the lower side of my tier list, and it's basically what I judge every vegan pizza compared to in my mind. I don't know why I'm like that, but I do compare like every vegan pizza to it, and it's gonna be like high D, low C tier. and I think I'll put it in C tier right now, but it might drop down later once we keep going. And then next I have artichokes here on the tier list. And so artichokes are an interesting food because they do taste good. Their yield is incredibly low, and I really tried to like artichokes, but it takes a lot of effort to eat artichokes, and even when you just roast them like this, which is one of the easiest preparation methods, you just get so little of the fruit. For me, artichokes by themselves are in the D tier, even though they actually taste pretty good. Just the way that you eat them is not very good. Now here's another Amy's brand thing. This is more just a canned chili like representation of the class that is canned chili. And for canned chili, I would say that this is also going to be pretty low tier. This is something that I eat when I like feel sick and can't cook for myself. So I would put this, like, I would definitely rather this over artichoke, but I'm not going to eat this before a pizza unless I feel like I've been eating too much pizza, which is almost always I feel like I'm eating too much pizza because I'm almost always eating pizza, which is probably problematic. Now here's our first hot item on the list, because banana peppers. I'll never forget the first time I had a banana pepper. I couldn't believe how amazing it was. Banana peppers, they just go to the S tier because they go on anything. No, okay, maybe S tier is actually too strong because banana peppers complement. They complement. They're not really a snack on their own, but they're just so fucking good. They go good on everything. They're not too hot, but they have a kick. And whether it's a sandwich or like whether it's fucking anything, they're just fucking awesome. I really like banana peppers. And the next thing is Ben & Jerry's ice cream here. And Ben & Jerry's, again, they're not the best or the worst company in my opinion. There's a lot of terrible companies in the world, and Ben & Jerry's at least started out not terribly, and they've probably gotten worse over time. Anything that you're eating that has chocolate in it is pretty bad for the planet. But at the same time, if we're just going off of taste, ice cream is pretty good. I can't eat too much sugar. My strategy, I try to be a pretty healthy person where I can, because I actually eat like rather unhealthy overall, but I try to be like thoughtful about my unhealthiness. And I try not to eat a lot of sugar. That's a really big thing for me. So ice cream's a rare treat, but this does taste very good. So I would put this above pizza for sure, but it's below banana peppers because I prefer savory snacks, definitely. Now, Beyond Beef, this is like a staple food. Banana peppers are fire, Supernova. That's what I'm freaking saying. They are so amazing, and thanks for being here. And apt name, because you could say that banana peppers are Supernova. It almost makes me want to put it in the S tier to match your name, but we won't do that just yet. Now, Beyond Beef is like, it's okay. This is like both Beyond Beef, and it's also a representation of like vegan ground beef. I haven't found like, well, actually I kind of have. We're probably gonna get to that in the tier list later. I would put Beyond Beef at a solid like high C tier because it's like the mid. I'm trying to be like pretty harsh about these foods because like they're okay. Beyond Beef is like, okay, this was humankind's first attempt at creating vegan ground beef, and it's pretty successful. It tastes okay. Now, bread is something I couldn't live my life without, just literally plain old bread. We're gonna see a contender for the bread spot later, and just knowing the future, knowing what else we're gonna see on this tier list, I'm gonna have to bump bread to a solid B tier. And I eat it more often than ice creams because you can't eat ice cream as much as you eat bread or else you'll die. And so bread's gonna be a higher spot on my tier list than ice cream in this particular case. Bread is also, it's easier to find vegan bread than it is vegan ice cream, but it is hard to find vegan bread. You'd be surprised how much people put non-vegan things in their bread. Now, this is bubble tea, which often has milk in it, but this is the manifestation of all vegan bubble teas. And I've had some pretty amazing vegan bubble tea in my day. I can't have too much of it again, just like any other sugary beverage. But this is a high snack. This is a high tier snack. Vegan bubble tea. I almost never would say no to it. Like if someone wants to offer this to me, and like if it's a vegan Thai tea, it's S tier. Like a vegan Thai tea is S tier. But across the board, generally speaking, if you're gonna get me a taro bubble tea, we're gonna put that below banana peppers. But it's above ice cream, certainly. Like if I had to choose between the desserts, earome.com. Maybe I'll... Yeah, I shouldn't have clicked it. I shouldn't have clicked it. Why'd I click it? Jay Breezy, what are you doing? You trying to get me banned? At least my freaking page warned me. I'll leave you in the chat, Jay Breezy, because you can DM me the porn. You can DM me those things. Don't try to get me banned, okay? Although I would say that porn is a high B tier if you have to like actually rate it as something. I'll leave you here now, Jay Breezy, but relax. Chill. Okay, now we have Catalina Crunch. This is like actually the #1 cereal that I've been into lately. I'm not paid by Catalina Crunch, but it is probably like 10% of my diet is milk and cereal, because as a vegan, it's very hard to find delicious and healthy foods, and this cereal is basically just protein, and it definitely has sugar alternative, which is not ideal, but I can eat this sugar regularly, and I'm gonna put it at I'll have to put it at an A tier, but not an S tier, just because if I put it cereal as an S tier, I'm not sure what that would make me. I'd still be vegan, but I don't know, it doesn't sound right. Now, Outstanding Puffs, these things, I just had them the one time. These were pretty gross. I was really not into these. I'm putting them into an F tier. The thing is that I've always wanted, like, I am a traditionalist for junk food, don't get me wrong. Oh yeah, I meant to say in the theory of vegan junk food. In the theory of vegan junk food, there's 3 kinds of vegans. There's the for the animals vegan, there's the for the environment vegan, and then there's the for the health vegan. Most vegans are all 3, obviously, but then there's also junk food vegans, and that is what I am. I'm a huge junk food vegan. And so I'm always looking for basically like the staples from when I was young, and like that's all I want. Like if the company wants to pander to me and they want to make the best Cheetos, then I'm looking for it. But so far, no companies have done it, and one of the reasons that I wanted to do this on my stream is to maybe get other vegans to do vegan tier lists of snack food, and then we can get non-shitty vegan junk food, because a lot of it is pretty terrible, and I would like easier access to tasty snacks. Okay, the next thing that I eat all the time is chips and salsa. It's very simple, it's very delicious, and I have almost no regret whenever I go sit down and try to grab some chips and salsa. Plus, they're customizable. That's one of the things about chips and salsa. If you feel like you're on the edge of death, then you could just literally have like a fucking scoop of salsa with a chip. But if you're like actually feeling like you want to go all out, you can do nachos, and you can put things on those bad Larrys, and you can enjoy them roasted in the oven with some vegan cheese. So chips and salsa, I can't eat it every single day, like it's not that kind of a thing, but it's definitely higher than Beyond Beef. I'd be doing it an injustice, I think, if I put it in the C tier. It's definitely a low B tier, chips and salsa. Now coffee, this is an issue, because this is where I'm problematic, because I'm drinking coffee constantly. It's one of my biggest faults. I try to own my faults. I'm not a perfect human being. I'm trying to become the best human being I can. I don't know if I'll ever be able to give up coffee until I don't have to work. If I didn't have to work 40 hours a week, then maybe I would not be a caffeine addict, but I am. And society condones caffeine addicts, so like right now I'm within the norm. And that's kind of what I've always like been. I don't really like do anything that would, I feel like, be wrong according to the law. That is like the minimum. So well, Anyways, let's go on past that. Anyways, I do drink coffee. I fucking love coffee. I hate that it's terrible for the planet, and that's really bad, but I'm just judging this based on how amazing it is. And I would be lying if I didn't say it was S tier. I put it in my curry, and I don't tell people that I make curry that I put it in curry, but that was a tip that I got once. And coffee curry is like super bomb. It's really amazing. Coffee tastes good in brownies. Coffee tastes good as like so many forms, and you can have it iced or you can have it hot. You can put milk in it, but you don't have to, and all varieties of it are so good. And I don't want to put it as S tier because I don't want to make other people also drink more coffee, but like it's so amazing. And like I also smoke weed too, which is something I used to talk about more on the stream. I've been talking less about weed because like my lungs are so bad because I smoke so much weed. So it's like I'm just a bad influence. Like if Snoop Dogg stopped smoking weed, I should fucking stop smoking. But I still drink coffee, I still smoke weed, and one day I might not. One day I certainly will not when I'm dead. But that day isn't here, nor is the day that I stop drinking coffee. I have to put it in the S tier or else I'm lying. And this is an honest tier list. This is as close to an honest tier list as I can make it. And the next thing is a grilled cheese. No, this is corn. This is grilled corn. I was gonna say grilled cheese is pretty low tier actually because there's no good vegan cheese, which we'll come to that. But this is corn. This is grilled corn. That's pretty fucking high tier. I made this tier list, by the way. Oh yeah, here, why don't we actually go ahead and paste this into both the YouTube and the Twitch chat here. If you're interested in doing this tier list yourself, definitely feel free. I think it's a pretty high tier list. I'd give this tier list at least an A ranking, but I just don't want to be egotistical and give myself an S. Okay, because there's lots of vegan snacks out there, and I did not include them all. I just did the ones that I'm seeing all the time. Okay, corn. Corn is a fucking underrated snack. Let's be real. It fits in all settings. It's just amazing. It's weird. I'd be a weird person for making roasted corn A tier. But I think I'm gonna put it as a low A. I mean, it's so fucking good. And like, I don't make roasted corn all the time. I don't know why I put it on this list, but it's pretty great. Now, Daiya pizza, I was saying Amy's earlier is like the sort of staple. I prefer to make my own pizza, which I did not actually put on this list. I didn't make generic pizza. Daiya, I'm gonna put at an F tier. Their parent company apparently still does testing on animals. I haven't looked into that at all. The pizza kind of blows. If I ever feel like getting really down and dirty, I would eat a Daiya pizza. It's fucking gross, but there is something about Daiya cheese that's actually pretty good. But it's like on cardboard, and I can't explain it. It's like tobacco from The Simpsons, like where people take bites of it and they're like, that's fucking disgusting. How can I get more? That's kind of like what Daiya pizza is. Like, it's okay, but if you don't put it at the F tier, then you're doing yourself a disservice. I recommend you put Daiya pizza in your F tiers on your ranking. Okay, now lesser evil popcorn, I don't trust it. There's something about it I don't trust. Anything that has to say that it's not evil just immediately strikes me as evil. I've never come onto the stream and have been like, well, actually, I kind of have been like, I kind of suck. I'm very self-deprecating, so maybe I do that. Okay, lesser evil, I'll give you another shot because you're kind of like me. Okay, it's mid. It's okay. I mean, any bagged popcorn is gonna be low tier because it's bagged popcorn, but they do it okay. It's not smart food. I wish it was smart food. Again, I'm vegan, but I miss eating this food. A lot of vegans don't miss eating meat and like dairy and stuff, and I fucking do. I don't miss it. It's not hard for me to not eat it because I don't like it. I don't want milk, but like to have that back in my life would be a life boost hugely. So I'm always on the lookout for good vegan replacements for things. And if you have suggestions either for the tier list or for just my vegan living, please let me know because I'm interested. I'm very interested to hear. And I was doing this partially because like maybe there's vegan snacks that I know that other people who are vegan don't know, and then you can go out and try those snacks and you can look for them online, because buying your snacks online can be pretty thrifty. I bought banana chips online for really cheap. Just a second, I'm gonna have a sip of coffee here for a moment. Okay, on with the tier list. Lesser Evil, I haven't given it an actual ranking yet. I'll put these headphones back on for a second. Well, actually, instead of these headphones, I'm being very spastic tonight. Instead of these headphones, I'm gonna put on these ones. The thing is that I don't like the aesthetic of the big black headphones over my head. I feel like it just ruins my curls. Okay, Lesser Evil popcorn. What are we gonna put it as? I mean, you can't have corn next to corn on a tier list. That's just weird, and it's too much corn. To reduce my corn concentration, I'm gonna put Lesser Evil popcorn right above ice cream. Okay. Oh, I've been so looking forward to this. This is very cathartic, and it'll be good to have like a solid ranking for my junk food here, just so that I know. Okay. I think I've only seen one other person actually do this since its inception, but hopefully some other people might be interested in filling out this vegan tier list one day. Okay. I'm just making sure I have chat up here so I don't miss anything. Earth Balance butter. Now this is to represent kind of all vegan butter because there's a whole spectrum of vegan butters out there, and I'm not going to go into every one of them. Vegan butter is something that I use. I use it all the time. I put it in everything. And we're gonna see later on that there's actually like a G bread that has butter on it that I really like that's vegan. And that stuff's really amazing. It kind of grosses me out. I try to use as little butter as I can because I can only imagine what kind of oils they use to make it work, but it tastes pretty good, and I'm required to use it for a lot of recipes that I make. Couldn't really go without it. It has to be in the B tier for me just because I use it so much. And Earth Balance is like not a good brand because they particularly use palm oil, but you can get palm oil free varieties of this butter, so that's good at least. Fields Roast is a solid A tier meat. All of their like hot dogs, sausages are all amazing. It just goes right to A tier because you can just include these in like almost any recipe. I would say like one of the biggest attractions about it that makes it almost high B is that they don't have many flavors. There's only like 4 flavors, and their maple sausage should get a rework. It really should get a rework. It should be like more sausage forward and less mapley. It's like too sweet, and the sweetness, it feels like a cheap sweetness. It's not like a good maple sausage. They should really get on that. And you know, I've wondered my whole life whether French fries are S tier or not. I think philosophers have gone back and forth about the tier of French fry, and if I'm being honest, I think that French fries get too much hate. I have to put the French fry in the S tier. The humble French fry is, to me, an underrepresented snack. I could eat mountains of French fries, and I would not get tired of it. And so I'm just gonna pop them right in the S tier. It might feel a little bit of a bold move, but it is what I'm gonna do in this particular case, because I think the thing that makes me feel like French fries are S tier is that if you give me a plate of the worst French fries I've ever had, I'm gonna shovel those French fries in my mouth. You can give me like sloppy, like wet cafeteria French fries from cafeterias across the country, and I will gladly take those fucking sloppers off your hand. I'll put them in a toaster oven and just make them crispy. Like, it's no problem. I don't mind. I'll eat them with ketchup. I'll eat them with a garlic aioli. I'll put salt and pepper on them. If you made me eat them plain, I'd happily eat them plain. I've eaten raw potatoes. We used to call those roadies, road potatoes. You can just eat a whole potato raw, and it's an amazing snack. I wish that there was a tier reserved for potato products. I would put that above S tier if it was possible. Potatoes are a staple of the vegan diet and of the life diet. Okay, and what is this? It looks like jelly beans. I don't think... Oh, this is fruit salad. I wouldn't have put jelly beans on my list. Jelly beans would be a low F tier. Fruit salad. Fruit salad is something I eat once a year, probably. When I make it, it's a high tier. It is strangely work intensive to cut up all the fruits, and once you eat it, you often have too much of it, but it's pretty great. I love fruit salad. I think that it's super tasty. I wish I could eat it more. It's just a lot of effort, and I can't eat it like super regularly. I'm gonna put fruit salad in A tier. I know that's probably surprising to a lot of people, but like, it makes me feel like I'm healthy when I'm eating it, even if it's not. It's a form of sugar I can eat and not get too sick, so fruit salad's really high up there for me. But I'd rather you just give me fruit salad than make me make it, but I would make it. I just do it only like once a year. Future burger. Compared to Beyond Beef, they tried and they failed. It's okay. It's rough. Fish fillet, F tier, Gonzo. Vegan fish has not been found. It's still better than diet. Please don't test on animals. That's where I'm feeling all of this. So far, I feel pretty good. It has not been that hard to decide on any of these. Roasted corn was probably one of the harder ones for me to decide. Yeah, but so far this is looking good. Now, ice is something that I use all the time. I use it in all of my drinks. You can't really eat ice alone, but it is vegan. Animals do swim in ice, but I don't think that makes ice conscious. If they don't swim in ice, they swim in water, I guess. Okay, ice is gonna be definitely better. It's gonna be a high C tier, because I at least put this in my coffee, and that warrants it being better than Amy's Pizza and Beyond Beef. Impossible Meat is going to be lower than the Future Burger. I did do this one by brand because like vegan ground beef just has such a long way to go, and like I'm a freaking like I am not different than most Americans. I could eat a hamburger and french fries every day. We've already gone over french fries, but the thing is I can't go eat a hamburger because I'd never eat a dead animal ever. I like animals too much. They're much too cute to eat, and I'm friends with all of them, and so I wouldn't eat them, and that's why I'm vegan, and that's the definition of veganism. So I'm putting all the ground beef here because, don't get me wrong, I freaking want a vegan burger, but they're not good yet. The technology is just not there for the vegan burger. We might get to one that we're gonna see, and we do have further vegan burgers up ahead. Now, Jack and Annie's Nugs, I actually forgot these existed, but I did put them on this list. I did make this whole list. I don't even remember half these things. I really like how long this list is. I've always loved long tier lists in general. I've always loved tier lists in general. I'm surprised I haven't done more of them on the stream. This is actually the first time I've ever done a tier list on the stream ever. And this is also my 2-year anniversary stream as well. So it's pretty fun. Anyways, we're gonna pop Jack and Annie's here. I'm feeling weird about this one because these things they taste good, but I can't eat them often. I feel like if I put them in a B tier, then I'm doing myself an injustice because I'm saying I eat these that often. We're gonna see what I do eat though. I like that these are made of jackfruit, so I'm gonna put them in the B tier. There's something about jackfruit that I trust and that I think is very based, and so I'm putting that in the B tier. Now, Just Egg is actually pretty amazing. I mean, now, whereas we've not gotten there with the technology for beef, Just Egg is on a whole nother level. I don't even know how they do what they do. Just Egg is simply S tier because, well, it might be high A tier. I'll put it in a high A tier because I'll leave room for improvement because they haven't gotten eggs. They haven't gotten like eggs with egg white. If they could do that, it'd be S tier. But this stuff is amazing for scrambles, and I don't notice the difference between it and eggs. It's essentially it's almost a better replacement because this stuff crisps up in a way that's like just amazing. Lettuce, I put on here because like we are vegan, and I feel like lettuce is just a staple of the green world. Look how green and leafy it is. Lettuce is just an A tier. It's just A tier. Like you can put lettuce with anything. Okay, these Hot Pocket things, these are Eddie's Hot Pockets. I've been digging these things. Vegan cheese was a long way to go, but these things, they'll make you sick if you eat too many of them. I'll put them at the low B tier. I should just stop saying that they'll make you sick if you eat too many because that's going to be the case with everything on this list. It will make you sick if you eat too many. Oh look, we do have my own pizza. Okay, that's a thing on this list. This mozzarella, it's really gone downhill for me. I don't like Miyoko's mozzarella that much anymore. It's okay once in a while. It's a low tier topping, but it's definitely better than all the DRF tier here. Now Miyoko's butter, I put in here with Earth Balance. I'll just put them next to each other. I didn't mean to do this like by brand thing. I meant for it to be more general, but I also didn't spend that long doing this. And then this is the Morningstar Nugs. These are low tier. These are pretty low tier. I'm gonna put these down here. It's like I really wish that you would make this food better because I would eat it all the time if I could. Now shroomies are something I feel more obligated to eat than I actually enjoy eating, and for that reason I do like them though. I do like them, but they're just really powerful. I eat them more. If it was a frequency thing, I eat them more than these though. So I'm gonna put them right in here, slide them right into the B tier. Mushrooms, when you cook them right, they're amazing, and they do add to most dishes, in my opinion. So far I think that this is actually a pretty great vegan tier list personally. I think that it has represented most of the brands that I see all the time, and I've been really like proud of myself for assembling this because like I don't see much stuff missing. Like I think we have a lot more to go. Okay, you need these. These were okay. These are like getting there. I don't like the marketing very much, but I'll put them at a C tier because these taste good. They taste good, but they're mid. You get very small portions. They're mid. They're very mid. That's why they get the C tier, because they're mid. Nut yeast, you gotta put at an A or S tier. I'll put it at an S tier because it's like if you're a vegan and you're not eating nut yeast, then you haven't been vegan long enough. I mean, you're just gonna after a while. So you just put it in the S tier. You don't think about it. Your oat milks, all varieties of oat milks and soy milks. These, I'll just go ahead and put soy milk up here. All your milks and cereals are going to be an A and S tier. You don't really have to think about those so much. Those are just insta wins for most vegans, in my opinion. Okay, this right here is Simply Mills oatmeal, and this is pretty sugary. It's hard to eat a lot of it, but it does taste very good. It's about the best oatmeal I've personally ever had, and somehow this sweater is actually too hot for me. It's literally not even covering my skin for the most part, but it is too hot. Okay, Dr. Prager's burger. Again, it's just a huge letdown. All vegan burgers are just letdowns. We are gonna get to one that is not a complete letdown later, but it's not what we're looking for. This is humble white rice. I put white rice on this list, but it kind of represents all rice, and rice isn't even junk food. It's just good. I'm just gonna put it with bread. It's just a solid basis for all of your meals, really. Most commonly, eating rice with curry. Obviously I didn't put all vegetables. I was just being silly, and I just chose a couple of veggies. Okay, so rule breakers, I have a really fond memory of this snack. I didn't ever hear of this snack, but I was on a super long run. I was preparing for a marathon, and I was running like 18 miles this one day, and I was exhausted. I was dying on this run, and I stopped at a grocery store when I was like 13 miles deep, and I got a bag of these bad Larrys, and I was really digging them. So they're high tier for me. They're like basically a protein, just like almost like exercise snack, you know, high in protein, high in sugar, electrolytes, that sort of a thing. They taste good, and they're vegan, so I like them. Now salad, the salad goes right there with fruit salad, and I can eat it more frequently, so we're actually going to put the traditional salad as an A tier. But the reason that it doesn't go S tier, obviously, is because salad is just the prototypical. Once you're vegan or vegetarian, everyone's like, oh, but this place has salad, and you're just like, oh my god, you can't have salad every day. You just can't do it. But it is amazing. It's a great snack. Hard to prepare compared to just like everything else on the list, obviously, but it's good. Salads are always great. Now, this was to represent making your own pizza. That's definitely A tier, but it's a lot of work, so it's a low A tier for me. It's probably better than freaking fruit salad and lettuce though. So this is looking pretty good so far. Simulate nugs, they're okay. They're definitely better than the Morningstar Farms nugs, and they're better than Amy's Pizza and Beyond Beef, but I'll put them lower than Ice, honestly, if we're being real. All of these things I would rather eat less than Ice, apparently, but that's probably not true. But I do use Ice more regularly than all those things. Now tea, I'm not much of a tea drinker, but tea can go right down here with Ice and nugs, honestly. Soy Rizo, pretty commonly used in my cooking. It's pretty low tier. I would say that it's lower than all these, but it does a good job for what it is. And the oatmeal I would put above Soy Rizo. Okay, we're actually kind of flying through this list. It went a lot faster than I thought it would. I wasn't really like talking about these very much, but I think that's an okay pace, probably. Now we have sweet potato puffs. These are the Just Sprouted or whatever. These are the best. Oh, I didn't put hippies on here. These and hippies are both pretty good. I'll put them next to the popcorn because they're like in that realm. I feel worse after eating these, but they're okay. Tempeh is low tier for me. I really want to like tempeh. It's like with artichokes. It doesn't do it for me. Textured vegetable protein, that's really good. It's definitely gonna be, whoops, I misplaced some of these things. Wasn't Lesser Evil popcorn further down? I don't know, maybe it just got a promotion. These two were definitely together, whatever. Textured vegetable protein, I use it all the time. It's really good for imitating meat, but it's also just mid. It's just mid. Oreos, they're those like accidental vegan things. Try not to eat them too much, but they're pretty great. I put grass on here. Everybody talks about touching it, and grass is sort of like the staple of vegan food. Most people are gonna go into grass eating probably about a couple weeks into their veganism. It's a solid A tier. It's easy to find, and you know, the hardest thing is probably like bending over to actually chew it, but it's not too hard because of its prominence. You go on a hill and you don't even have to really bend over. You can just stand on the hillside and just reach over for it. And so tofu is something I eat pretty regularly. I like it in all of its forms. It's kind of like eggs, like you could almost put it next to Just Egg. Worse than bubble tea. I eat it less than cereal and eggs. I would probably put it like right around grass, I would say. Tofu's like right on the grass level, I would say. Tofurkey Italian sausages, they're all right. They're mid. I would put them at a high B tier. Lower than rice and bread though, but higher than the others because I'm not into desserts really. American Flatbread, their vegan harvest pizzas are okay, but I can't they're better than Amy's pizzas, that's for sure, and they're better than Oreos and stuff, but again, you got to make your own pizza. That's why I put up here the Simple Mills almond flour crust, because that's truly like the strat if you're vegan, is just make your own pizza, just make your own crust, make your own pizza. It's really great. This next thing is just vegan mayonnaise in general. This one is Chosen Foods. It could be any vegan mayonnaise. This is just mayonnaise, and I haven't had a vegan mayonnaise that isn't like regular mayonnaise. It's not that hard to make oil, so it tastes okay. It's mid. If you like mayonnaise, it's good. I think it goes good on sandwiches. I'll put it at a low B tier. And sushi is a high tier, because I mean, most vegan sushi, it's not going to be as good as regular sushi, but it's pretty freaking amazing. It's overpriced, but it tastes pretty good and it's healthy for you. Vegan cheese isn't there yet. We've established that earlier. BioLife is probably even worse than the Miyoko's, but it's probably better than Impossible Beef, so I'm gonna put it in the middle of the D tier. This stuff just came out recently, this Eat Meaty stuff, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was super good. I'll put it up here in the A tier, and I'll even put it high A next to Field Roast, even above it, because they have a couple different steak varieties and chicken varieties. I haven't tried their chicken, but their like vegan steaks are pretty awesome actually, so I'm looking forward to more out of them, because hopefully it just gets better. Now this here is actually local garlic bread from just like the actual grocery store, and this stuff I've checked a million times over to be sure. This stuff's freaking actually vegan, and I'm not sure how it is, but this garlic bread, this is a pretty easy A tier. I'm gonna put it below sushi because it is super unhealthy for you, but it tastes amazing. I mean any kind of garlic bread with just like super crispy crust but super fluffy inside, that's always gonna hit the spot. Now these Incognito nugs, these things are on another level. I really recommend you try them. I'm not being paid by Morningstar to say this, but this is the closest I've found to any actual chicken nugget. So I mean, if you're into that, these are S tier. And they're actual steakhouse burgers. I don't know why these came in here next to each other. That was not my intention. But both of these are actually the best comparisons to meat I've ever had. The Incognito chicken nuggets do taste exactly like chicken, and they have a somehow exactly like chicken texture to them. I almost like it more than I've ever liked chicken. And the steakhouse burgers, they taste like the style of burger that you would have over a charcoal grill. They're pretty awesome. The thing is that like I was saying, there's no really good ground beef. That's still true. This doesn't taste like ground beef. This just tastes like a burger, not ground beef. It tastes like a charcoal grill burger, and they do a really good job of that domain. You can't really put it in like other contexts where you would want ground beef. So the technology's not gotten there for ground beef yet, but these are both really great contenders for nugs and burgers, at least, which for an uncultured American as myself is pretty great. Okay, and then the last thing I have here are the Alpha Burrito Pizza Burritos. These things make me feel terrible about myself to eat, but they do taste good, and I'm gonna put them in the low A tier. And that's all the snacks that I have right now. If you want to contribute more snacks, if I was to get enough of them, I would definitely do the tier list again if I was able to like double the list in size. That probably wouldn't happen for a long time, but you can join in on the Discord, and if you come over there, then you can go ahead and propose whatever suggestion you might have. You can also just hang out and you can message me. Always happy to chat, and I'm always happy to see people in there. And so that was the whole segment, really. there's not that much more to it. I don't know how long that took. I mean, it says I've been streaming for nearly 3 hours now, which seems about right. That's like pretty much what I would have expected. I'm gonna take a break soon here to just stretch and rehydrate. And so I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. And I've had my category on music now for so long. I need to actually change to just chatting. I'll be just chatting for the rest of the night, so I think I can just kind of leave it on that. Well, on YouTube it's people and blogs, and then the other thing is to change it on Twitch as well. And so the next thing that I'm gonna do on stream here is I thought I would go over some of the clips from my stream, but I might just go right into some programming. Truthfully, I'm gonna debate it while I'm gone for a second, and I'm just changing to just chatting right now. I'm gonna roll. I should have put myself on just chatting for that. It probably would have been a lot more successful than to do it on the music channel. Anyways, I'm gonna step away for a little. Thanks for being here. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I hope you've enjoyed 2 years of streaming, and I'll be back shortly. Bye for now. Oh, don't stop recording. Go to the BRB screen, silly. Here we go.